Hello, beautiful beings. Welcome to the Turn Yourself In podcast. This is Reverend Katherine Ganev Soto, aka the Urban Spirit Guide. Thank you for being and for being here with me today. In the first episode, I shared about divine supersouls, how to get the most out of this podcast, and the observe, witness, and contemplate practice that is a foundational piece of the works we will continue to explore. In this episode, I will be discussing mindfulness for your day-to-day, including the general concepts that many mindfulness experts share, and a deeper dive into the truth about mindfulness, which is that it is an inside job. While others can support us, give us advice, even provide an environment that may allow us to thrive in our mindfulness, the truth is, it can only be created and cultivated from within. It is helpful when the company you work with, of which you are one part of the whole entity and being, provides the opportunities, space, time, and resources to engage in mindfulness practices. But that is not always available. So it is super helpful when we take the ownership and actions toward our inner mindfulness so that we can apply it to our outer environments. Before we get into the details, let's get present. Find a comfortable seated position with your feet on the ground, your spine straight and long, your seat rooted into the chair or the earth or the couch, wherever you're sitting. Begin to connect with your breath, taking a few deep belly breaths, slow and comfortable. And while you're taking these breaths, place your hands on your heart, connecting the energy of your heart with your breath, grounding your energy into the earth, giving yourself permission to be present, to experience everything in this podcast, and present with everything that you are experiencing. What is mindfulness? I know there is a formal definition of mindfulness and many interpretations of what it truly means, but I am going to share my own interpretation from my years of existence and practice. To me, mindfulness is your sincere response ability. Your ability to respond with sincerity. If you break that apart, it means you are thoughtful, you are present, and you are taking ownership of your own well-being and the well-being of the whole. Being mindful is putting the full power of your mind in your control. The one area you have full control with is the power to choose and the power to change your mind. To respond with sincerity requires one to have some level of self-mastery, which is definitely not learned overnight. Self-mastery is the journey, to which mindfulness is an ingredient that adds value to the whole. Mindfulness is a lifestyle. You align with the frequency of what mindfulness represents and radiate that out into the world in your day-to-day interactions. It first requires your desire to be mindful, for you to choose to be mindful and to be sincere with your thoughts, your words, and your actions toward yourself and others. Like yoga or martial arts, there is a physical, intentional, on-the-mat practice for mindfulness. But the real work is in your daily interactions, which is your life experience. You see, you are a communication device with the intelligence to control what you receive and what you give. You are always communicating and interacting with something or someone, even if only with yourself. And so you practice your mindfulness on the mat so that you can remind yourself, you can remember to embody it in all your interactions and communication experiences. So how do you do this? With desire, intention, and action interwoven with observing, witnessing, and contemplating, which we heard about in episode 1. But first, let's start with the 5 practical contemplation ideas and practices for the workplace and for your day-to-day. I've identified 5 ideas to contemplate and bring into practice regularly. I say contemplate because mindfulness is not really something that I can give to you or tell you how to get it. It can only be aligned with. I can show you where to look, but you choose to interact. So as I am sharing, take notes on what the ideas and practices mean for you, jotting down how you might engage with and take the practice forward in your day-to-day. You may come up with an idea or practice that works better for you. You are in total control with what you allow and receive in your space. I am just the conduit bringing the information through. So let's talk about those 5 ideas to contemplate. Number 1 is identify your reset zone. Identify your reset zone. Your reset zone is a mindfulness place, space, or energy where you can go or be to clear out the noise and come back to center, to your purpose. Having it identified and ready to apply at any time is great for those busy days and when things get hectic. So here are 3 areas that you can look at to identify your reset zone. First, identify your specific reset zone activity and space or place. Your activity may be meditation, walking, napping, breath work, healing music, light exercise or movement, or some form of meditative creativity. Let go of comparison or judgments and find what works for you. Your space and place may be a quiet room where you will not be distracted, or a place in nature. Wherever it is, make it sacred. Second, set reminders for your reset zone activity. It doesn't have to be at the same time every day, but aim to engage in some form of reset activity daily, even if just for 5 minutes. And ensure those are 5 high-quality minutes. And the third thing is to remind yourself to slow down, relax, and take a rest as part of your reset activity. Make a conscious effort to follow your breath. Close your eyes. Shift to slow motion energy. Drop into your center and view everything within and around you with a soft and gentle gaze, somewhat like a trance where you can take in data from all directions but not attach to it. So that first activity was identify your reset zone. Identifying your specific reset zone activity and space place, setting reminders for your reset zone activity, and reminding yourself to slow down, relax, and rest. The second idea is to start with gratitude, presence, and consideration. Live today as if it were today. Live in this moment as if it were this moment. In doing this, you honor the holiness of now and of yourself and others. It is easy to get entangled with what was, what you could or should have done, or what might be in the future. But when you do that, you miss the now. So some things to consider with this are, 1, to align with gratitude and show appreciation for what is present right now, for yourself, for others, for your life, for your works and your dreams. Be considerate of yourself and others for whatever you or they may be going through at this time. We never know what life is like for others, so being considerate is powerfully healing for everyone involved. And find just one thing you are grateful for each day, something you are truly, truly grateful for. Second, be present to experience everything, meaning what you are receiving, what you are allowing in your space. And then be present with everything you are experiencing, what is happening within, how you are responding to what is coming into your space. So with key activities, turn off your phone, shut off the valve to the stories that so desperately want to be true and to the responses you want to give. Put it all in a parking lot so that you can be fully present to receive right now. This will help you identify the frequencies you do not wish to receive and choose appropriately. So that parking lot can be really helpful because some things are really important for you to follow up on and you don't want to let it go. But if you can just set it aside and pick it up when you're done, then in your reset zone, in your day-to-day activity, when you're really trying to be present for a meeting or for someone else or for yourself because you're working on a project, being present to experience everything with that exchange can be really powerful, and it can be helpful to then put these things that you need to pay attention to later just in a parking lot to pick up when you're done. So be present to experience everything that is happening, and then present with everything you are experiencing in your body. The third consideration is to be considerate of your emotions and your mental space. Take a time in, if necessary, and step away from the work for a moment. Go to your reset zone. Sometime when we have a trigger or something is heightened in our space, it can be really challenging to be present. It can be really challenging to be grateful. So be considerate of where you are and address that. You may go to your reset zone just to reset your space and come present with what is up for you right now. And the last thing is to be considerate of time. So allow for prep and integration time. Allow time and space to prepare for meetings or projects or engagements, as well as time and space to integrate the wisdom received afterward. Give yourself and everyone involved the respect of being prepared, centered, and present. This will reward you many times over and save you more time than you may think. It can be easy to rush from one meeting to another, from one engagement to another, without resetting your space and coming present to the frequency and energy that you're about to engage with, not only from a physical preparation for a meeting, but also from an energetic. The third idea is to bring it back to vision, mission, purpose, and goal. Bringing it back to vision allows you to align with your goals, frequency, and to move with mindfulness in its direction. When you know the goal, you prepare the environments, inner and outer, in a manner that is most nourishing to meet that goal, providing the greatest health for all involved. So align with the goal for every engagement. Remember to bring it back to the or your vision, mission, purpose, or goal for anything you engage with, whether it's work, meetings, life, health, food, projects, relationships. And do this daily or at the beginning of a project or engagement. Sometimes when we get tired of work or a project, we're like, why am I doing this? Oh, this is so ridiculous, or I'm not having fun. It can be good to go back to, why am I doing this? What is the point of this? What is the purpose of this? And it can help realign your frequency to align with that purpose. And you may then let go of some things that are unnecessary, bringing it back to the focus of what's most important. second in this one is to be mindful with each experience. And that means to remember why you are doing it. Why are you here in this moment? What are you choosing to do this activity, this project, this work for? What is your why? And when you get to an answer for your why, ask why again. And keep asking why until you get to the truth. This can be an interesting exercise because you start to uncover why it is you're truly doing something. And the third one in this bringing it back to vision is to put your intentions out to the great field of consciousness, to the edge of the creative universe, and allow them to unfold, meeting them halfway with your gifts and your skills and your actions. But let go of the expectation outcome and walk the path toward it. The top of the mountain is amazing, but the path is where mindfulness is most beneficial. If you can let go of putting all of the focus at the top of the mountain, you provide yourself the opportunity, the choice to be fully present and mindful here and now, where the greatest wisdom resides. And it's important to have that vision and goal of the top of the mountain. But if all of your energy is there, you miss out on truly being present. So set your intention and put it out there and know what that goal is, but then walk the path and be mindful of each step and be fully present with each step. Number 4 is master your communication skills. We communicate on many levels: physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, and vocally. And we are always communicating. Mastering this skill provides you the ability to offer your greatest gifts and skills, to add value, and to be helpful. So in this one, you want to first be honest and gain awareness with your emotions, your feelings, and your thoughts. We talked a little bit about this in episode 1. So you may have the emotion of anger, which triggers a feeling of being scared or uncomfortable, which produces the thought of I am not good enough or I am not safe. So having awareness with these and being honest with yourself, you want to identify where you go. Do you go into fight, flight, or freeze, or some combination? And then you want to observe, witness, and contemplate what these bring up for you. This can be a tough one, so get support if needed. This is the greatest level of experience and learning you have on your path, so take advantage of it. Learn and grow and gain awareness with your emotions, feelings, and thoughts. Second, practice being impeccable with your thoughts, your words, and your actions. How can you use what you have control over, your response ability, your ability to respond, ability to choose, ability to change your mind, to support and nourish your experiences? Let go of judgment and comparison, but aim to be impeccable and continue to practice. Can you set the intention to be impeccable with your thoughts, words, and actions? Third, be mindful with your words, the specific language you use. Try changing I have to and I need to I want to and I am choosing to. This puts the power back in your court and shifts the frequency to one of mindfulness. You shift from being a victim to being senior in your space. We do this unconsciously. I have to go to the store. I have to make dinner. Oh, I can't because I need to work. I'm not going to be able to make it because I have to take care of my kids. Or I have to go to this event. And when we use those words, the have to and need to, we are really putting ourselves into the victim. So if you change it to, I would love to come, but I want to spend time with my kids. I am choosing to go to the grocery store. I am choosing to mow the lawn. I'm choosing to work. It really changes the frequency and the energy, and we become more senior in our space. We're taking ownership. We're mastering this communication skill, which we're telling people what we do and don't like through the words that we use. And if we start to change them, we're saying, oh, I'm choosing this. I'm choosing to do this. I want to do this. So be really mindful with the words that you use. This is just one example. And you may even start to notice where you say, oh, I have to go do this, and stop just for a minute and see what it feels like to say, I want to, I'm choosing to. And then last, for the master your communication skills, is listen. Be silent. Listen with the intent to understand. So use the skills of observing, witnessing, and contemplating to gain understanding with the communication experience you are having, and then use your gifts, skills, and mindfulness abilities to respond or not respond accordingly. But aim to listen with the intent to understand first. That is step one. And I encourage you in a meeting or with a friend or an engagement to just listen. Don't talk. Just listen. It's very, very powerful when you listen with this intent to understand. And the last idea, number 5, is to be open and flexible. When you are open and flexible, you can bend, flow, and move in any direction. There are no restrictions. There is no resistance. Your agility is contagious and gives others permission to align with the same. Here you are learning and teaching love, the open expression of the energy of the universe, the thread that weaves us all together, the component that allows us to be, to breathe, to move. So some things to consider is to be open to change, to new ideas and different viewpoints. Find your childlike curiosity and excitement. Go back to preschool or kindergarten. Let go of programming and belief systems. Be okay with doing things in a different manner or hearing a different viewpoint. You might find great treasures if you open to this. Second, let go of expectations. Be with presence, going back to the vision, the purpose. Sometimes when you let go of expectations and listen with the intent to understand, you will uncover fabulous treasures. When you have hard expectations, you limit the possibilities. And this is a great one to use when you set your intentions and you put it out there to the universe. You might be careful what you ask for and allow it to come back to you in perfect time, better than you could have ever imagined. But if you have hard expectations, if I'm going up the mountain and I want to get to the top, and that's my expectation, and I'm hard and rigid and I don't allow any openness or flexibility, I may miss other paths that go to beautiful lakes or waterfalls because I'm so rigid on my expectation that I must make it to the top and this is how it must turn out. So let go of those expectations. Walk your path. Be present on that path. Remember, the mountain is at the top. But be present as you're walking. You may take other journeys and may eventually get to the mountain. But allow it to be what it is right now, letting go of the expectation that it needs to come to you at a certain time or look a certain way. And the third item for be open and flexible is identify where you take things personally or are stuck in an old program, pattern, or belief system. You can observe, witness, and contemplate this. What is yours to do when you take things personally or are stuck? What of the story is an illusion that is ready to be released? And what requires deeper reflection and healing so that you can respond with mindfulness? We have many programs and patterns and belief systems from this present life that we've been in, from our family, from school, from work, from traumatic experiences that we've had. We have habits and we want to respond in certain ways, and we may get hurt and take something personally and go into that cycle of an old program or an illusion that isn't serving us. So identify those. Identify where you take things personally or are stuck in an old program. And ask yourself, what is yours to do by observing, witnessing, and contemplating? So those are the 5 contemplation ideas and practices for mindfulness in your day-to-day or your workday. So to recap, the 5 practices are: identify your reset zone. Start with gratitude, presence, and consideration. Bring it back to vision, mission, purpose, or goal. Master your communication skills. And be open and flexible. Remember to use the Observe, Witness, and Contemplate tool from episode 1. And if you missed that episode, be sure to take a listen to get the basics for that practice. This wraps up episode 2 of the Turn Yourself In podcast. Join me for the next episode, where I will introduce my core program called the Self-Mastery Preschool for Adults. Thank you so much for being, for walking this path, for everything you have experienced, and for being here with me today. Blessings, sweet beings.